In the process of making my video on completing Checkpoint Zulu on Alpha Omega, I noticed that there were a ton of achievements with crazy low percentages. So, in order to flex to the YouTube community and to my wife, who would much rather play Black Ops 3 than Black Ops 4 anyway, let's try and get the rarest achievement on every map. If you like seeing these achievement videos and want to see more, consider liking and subscribing. This will let me know what you'd like to see more of and will help me reach my goal of being monetized this year. Let's get this party started on Voyage of Despair. What do you think of when you think of Voyage? Confusing layout? Underrated? Balls to the wall boss? So surely the Easter egg is the least completed achievement, right? Wrong. It's Stowaway, with only 0.21% of players spending 5 consecutive rounds in the cargo hold. Let's get down to brass tacks. This is actually my second time going for this achievement. I originally unlocked it on my profile and was in the cargo hold from rounds 8 to 13. I even had my voiceover recorded, but something went screwy with the video file. So here I'm borrowing my wife's profile, and I don't even think she's played BO4 on the Xbox yet, which is why I'm running the Welling frag grenades and the goated death perception instead of my usual setup. But if you're new to Black Ops 4, this shows you can do it too. The first 3 rounds I used a combination of the Welling and Bruno's hairy ass hands, also stopping to buy the GKS off the wall since I can't knife with my overpowered strife, to kill zombies before turning on the Sentinel artifact on the poop deck on round 4. Since I was annoyed that I already did this achievement once, I decided to just rush through it. I spent 2 more rounds killing zombies on the front of the boat before vying the VAPR and opening up the cargo hold on round 6. The Blightfather spawns for the first time on round 15 to give you some vigorous French kissing, so as long as I don't run out of self-revives, I'm golden to get this done before that time. Now, since I elected to come straight down here and not activate Pack-a-Punch or get any perks, or even get the shield, I decided to buy the Titan on round 7 so I wouldn't have an ammo problem. I'm kinda surprised that this achievement hasn't been unlocked by more people, because I feel that there are a lot of people who would have tried holding out here with friends when the map first launched. But then again, this map was wrongly labeled a scourge when Black Ops 4 first dropped and wasn't as popular as 9 or Blood. I've always felt that Blood of the Dead is the worst map in this game by a significant margin. Honestly, there's not much to talk about on this attempt. It's silly enough that I didn't run into any trouble and the Catalyst zombies didn't start spawning until round 9. Somehow, despite all the water that's still in this area of the boat, there's a fire zombie that spawned, but he was taken out with no issues. On round 10, I got my first visit by the Stoker, the heavy zombie of this map. He's a flaming bastard who throws fiery coal at you and swings a mean shovel. However, it turns out that a giant fucking hammer is more effective than a shovel, so I obliterated him and his friends and got the achievement on round 11. 9's rarest achievement is a surprising one. Apparently, only 0.26% of players have completed Constellation Prize, which requires you to kill 9 zombies with a single uncharged shot from an unupgraded Death of Orion. Like Voyage, this will be easily accomplished by the way I would normally play the map. I load up and knife the string of the banner of Danu as my ancestors were Irish, but I'm also Catholic, so appeasing a pagan goddess does feel a bit wrong, but whatever. I got lucky on my challenges, the first being 6 equipment kills, easily accomplished with 1 Wraith Fire. Following up, I had 5 consecutive headshot kills, and then 10 zombie kills with a specialist. So I whipped out my long, shiny golden rod and shoved it in some faces, while squaring off against the champions of Danu and Ra. 3 completed challenges gives you a free Pack-a-Punch strife and a bowl. I know what you're thinking, but I'll need that bowl later, and not because of the Taco Bell I had earlier that day. Business as usual from then on. I went to the other side of the map and killed the other champions, picked up the chain and gear in the temple, and activated the Pack-a-Punch. I then shot the flaming bowl that spawns between the Danu and Ra towers underground before I headed into the light, where I promptly hissed because I hate vitamin D. On the bridge between the towers, I saw that the fire pointed to the Ra tower, so I picked up the statue head in the treasure room, which is the hardest one to see because Treyarch's an asshole, and hid it behind a candle. I built the acid trap in the Danu tower entrance, set the stone down, then activated the trap to reveal a little scorpion spigot. Now, I personally don't drink, but my dad enjoys a few beers at trivia night, so I decided to get him a beverage. Eventually, I returned to my adoring fans in the arena, who threw me the tiny ass jar because I have max crowd affinity, and then I performed eco-terrorism by knifing a tree and put the spigot in and a jar at the bottom. I grabbed a couple perks before finishing the round, grabbing the jar that is now full of poison, and I decided not to give it to my dad until he says something about using ChatGPT to do his job for him. Spoiler alert, it's gonna happen soon. Round 7 ended via murder, so I decided to be a complete dick and poison these nice Romans mystery box. Fun fact, this actually doesn't guarantee the Death of Orion will appear on the next hit. It just makes it extremely likely. This was sadly not one of those times I didn't get it because that would make for a funny video. I returned to the arena, fired fired a few rounds into their heads. The achievement was easier than I am for my wife, but things are about to get uglier than me in the morning. Blood of the Dead's rarest achievement is throw a dog a bone, with only 0.07% of Xbox players having unlocked it. You need to feed a wolf head from the Gondola, Citadel, and Model Industries in one game. I'm gonna be honest with all you lovely people. Screw Blood of the Dead, screw dogs, screw monkey bombs, and screw me. I did some stabbing again with the Strife for a few rounds, turning on the power to this side of the map and taking a calm, stress-free stroll on the catwalk. One of my few complaints about Black Ops 4 is the cinematic moments that serve no purpose other than to look pretty. And it started in Black Ops 3, but it was extra obnoxious in Cold War. I was stupid and went down into the Citadel at the start of round 5, which got me cornered, forcing me to use my anywhere but here elixir to teleport away. And where does it send me? Right back to Model Industries, so I get to go over the catwalk again. I'm a dumbass, so when I go back to the other side, I decided to go down the tunnel again. But this time, I got to the bottom without being trapped. I bought the ICR-7 because I have a functioning brain and it's the best wall gun in the game before I flip on the power switch and send this chrome dome douchebag warden back to hell. Well, the other hell, not Blood of the Dead hell. I made my way back upstairs, grabbing stamina up and making my way to the roof. I blasted the meter in order to get the spooky ghosts to build the pack-a-punch machine and upgrade my ICR. I need to get my specialist to level 2 so I can sit by this monkey statue that's just outside the library and get zombie souls by killing them with said specialist. So I hang out and start honing my fruit ninja talents, and I run out of zombies. I killed zombies until my specialist was full on the roof on round 10 and collected the last souls I needed to turn the monkey red and shoot it to make it disappear. I ran back over to Richtofen's laboratory and pick up my free monkey bombs. I opened up New Industries, threw a monkey bomb, and hauled ass to the Model Industries, but it didn't work because the zombies despawned. So I tried again. Nothing. I gave up on this location for now because I only had one monkey left. I made my way up to the top of the cells to get the gondola feeding. Important tip: you need to actually start the gondola before the monkey goes off because the game doesn't recognize it as its own area unless it's moving. Once I learned that kills on the top section of this walkway would feed the dog, I knew I could start a lot closer to the gondola. The points were a sweet confirmation that it worked. One down. Next up was the wolf by the warden's house. After taking care of the warden, I made the biggest smooth brain play and bounced a monkey bomb off a zombie head. If I had a webcam, the look on my face would be perfect for a new zombies meme, but since cyberbullying exists, I don't use a webcam. Thankfully, there were a couple zombies still alive, and I had a monkey in my pants that I tossed outside. I made it down to the Citadel, and the monkey did his job. Back to the dog in the New Industries area. I was out of monkey bombs, so I had to train until they started to refill or I got a max ammo. It's actually stupid how slow these monkey bombs refill compared to Wraith Fires, considering Wraith Fires are so much better. After 2 rounds, another monkey bomb was finally ready, so naturally this is where I got the achievement right. Wrong. I got the placement wrong, so now I had to wait for yet another monkey bomb. 3 monkeys later, I got the correct placement and unlocked the achievement. It took 6 monkey bombs to get what should have been the easiest dog. Classified's rarest achievement is going everywhere fast, and only 0.11% of Xbox gamers have actually completed it. You need to use the teleporter 7 times in less than a minute, and it's actually a little more annoying than it looks, but as long as your movement is borderline perfect, you'll get it. I can understand why this one is so rare, because you probably aren't running in teleporters back to back. There's not a whole lot to talk about on this one. I could talk about how I despise Treyarch for removing the Pentagon Thief and replacing the 5 crew, probably my favorite crew of all time, with the Ultimus, but Blood of the Dead saps my will to live. I worked my way downstairs and bought stamina up on round 5, saying hello to my buddy the pig, and got running. After a few sloppy attempts, I tightened my path and didn't make any long turns, eventually unlocking going everywhere fast. Back to the chaos story we go, into my favorite Black Ops 4 map, Dead of the Night. 0.17% of gamers have completed Well Done, where you need to commit vampiricide with the steak knife in the dining room. I'm kind of surprised this isn't one of those that's under 0.1%, especially compared to some of the others, but hey, this map is so good, I don't blame people for wanting to do the side quest. Pro gamer tip: increase your brightness to 100% for this one so you can see the tree symbols, especially if you have old man eyes. It started with the typical Dead of the Night setup. I feel that people are way too hard on Dead of the Night setup process and the part locations. Yes, every item has multiple spawn points, but they're all in the same area and they're easy enough to see or even just run into by hugging the walls. It's not any worse than Origins or Mob of the Dead, and honestly, it's probably more tolerable because the lighting tends to be brighter in Dead of the Night when you're inside. What I'm saying is, stop licking Origins feet, people, they're muddy. On round 5, I opened up Pack-a-Punch, committed animal cruelty with the silver bullet loaded shotgun, and found the 4 symbols I need to shoot in order in the forest. After being careful not to destroy any rocks with splash damage, I shot the stones in the correct order and then bought a Bowie knife. I meleeed the symbols in the same order as before back in the forest, and then smacked my shield against the tree, thankfully not disturbing a beehive because bees are the single scariest thing to ever exist. Yes, more than zombies. Then I made my way over to the mausoleum and needed to get Nosferatu kills to get the knife. Thankfully, like a true Dead of the Night expert, I am upgrading my Alistair's Folly into the Chaos Theory into the Annihilator, and I'm able to summon the Crimson Nosferatu, who also invites a bunch of normal Nosferatus to suck my ass juice. So I kill them all to charge up this branch and craft the steak knife. I run back to the dining room and unlock the achievement by shoving my wood in this guy's face. The final Chaos map is Ancient Evil, and it has the rarest achievement in the Chaos storyline at 0.08% completion, Devoted Follower. Much like Alpha Omega's Checkpoint Zulu, Devoted Follower requires you to survive 20 rounds without leaving the spawn room, in this case, the Temple of Apollo. Unlike Alpha Omega though, you have to contend with Catalyst, a Blightfather, and a Geganese. This achievement is the single reason that this video was delayed, though it wasn't annoying like Blood of the Dead because Ancient Evil doesn't suck donkey balls. I started out being surrounded by zombies, so I greeted them in the proper English way, and then immediately bought the Strife. The game considers this whole area inside the pillars as the Temple of Apollo. After many trials and equally as many errors, 24 prior attempts worth to be precise, I had a game plan. The first 10 rounds or so will be simple enough out front by the doors to the market. It's about the only place you can actually train, so there's not really much of a choice. I needed to be more liberal with my specialist earlier on than I had in previous attempts, but not like a 21st century liberal, more like a 20th century one. This is because I need to get this bad boy upgraded to level 2 and 3 by the end of this challenge to give myself the best chance possible. I was using the hammer prior to this, but it just wasn't working out. The hammer is actually pretty lackluster against the mini-boss zombies that I'll have to deal with on this map, and the Viper and Dragon's level 3 special attack attracts zombies, which will make things so much easier. Honestly, this challenge is a great way to get better at Black Ops 4 movement, especially starting on round 10 where it becomes a bit too chaotic to train out in front. You get a good sense of how the zombies stumble around and what openings you need to take and how patient you need to be. It's not like pre-Black Ops 4 zombies where they tend to just run at you in a straight line and not deviate from that path. Round 11 is about when your guns stop being the main method of killing zombies, at least in large numbers. Instead, you'll rely heavily on Wraithfires and your specialist. Wraithfires are not as overpowered here in Ancient Evil though, because they don't permanently kill the Spartoi. They only die from a headshot unless you have an insta-kill. On round 13, I used my first Blood Debt elixir. Before trying this achievement, I had never actually used Blood Debt, but since I for some unholy reason had 27 of them, I figured I'd give them a shot. Instead of taking damage, you lose points. I thought maybe it'd be 500 points per hit or something, but it actually starts around 150. It just gets progressively higher with every hit, so by the end, you're losing thousands of points per hit. This might screw you over in a normal game when you're trying for a high round or an Easter egg, but since I only need 250 points per Strife ammo refill, I can deal with poverty. On round 14, I activated my first Shields Up elixir because I knew what was coming, and it wasn't me, despite that long tongue on the Blightfather. A little action from the level 2 Viper and Dragon reminded this ugly bastard who paid a shit ton of money for this game, twice. Money well spent though. I love Black Ops 4. I took a fat L on round 16 because I tried to be cute and cosplay as Gerard Butler with Apollo's Will. The shield is really cool and all, but I just couldn't throw the spears fast enough. Thankfully, a nuke bailed me out big time, and I continued on my quest. This is the part of the challenge where you better have great movement and timing. I started the round in my normal spot out front, but it quickly became too much to handle, and I had to use the whole area. Also, you need to move a little slower than max speed so you can take advantage of the Wraithfires killing trains of zombies. If you get too far ahead, the zombies will despawn and jump you like you're in a Walmart parking lot. This presented a problem because zombies would spawn in the side window on one side and can cut you off, and later on I desperately wanted to save my specialist for someone extra special. Speaking of an extra special someone, on round 19 everything started smoothly. I had a fresh shield from a Shields Up elixir on round 18, and I wasn't having any issues with the riffraff. A full power dropped and I decided to bust out my specialist so I could abuse it, but around the corner came the Geganese. This Yu-Gi-Oh looking motherfucker somehow caught me off guard despite being 20 feet tall, but no matter, getting shredded by little green dudes and Dragonfire took him down like the rest of the zombies. I was actually pretty relieved because I knew now I wouldn't have to deal with him in the last round. On round 20, I kept up my movement strategy, only deviating once to enact some Spartan justice on these bastards out front since I didn't quite have my specialist charged. Thanks to a well-timed insta-kill, I was able to clean up these Goombas and unlock devoted follower. Back to the Ether story we go to Alpha Omega. Fun fact, not a single Alpha Omega achievement has at least 1% of all players completing it. There are 2 achievements tied at 0.04% completion. It's a toss-up as unlocked by killing 15 jolting jacks on rooftops with grenades in a single match, while Entrapment Entrepreneur is achieved by killing 11 zombies with 5 different traps in a single game. I was gonna go for both of these challenges, but I'm gonna be real with you here. I was so annoyed getting the traps on that I only went for Entrapment Entrepreneur. Sorry, maybe I'll do It's a Toss-Up another time. As always, normal start of the game stuff. Knife some zombies with the strife, make my way down to the generator area, activate the generator, deal with one of the most annoying pack-a-punch systems in zombies history. I progressed a couple of rounds till I had enough points to buy the Galvanuckles, and I turned on Rushmore when he threatened to blow me up. I then spent 22 minutes, according to my footage, trying to find an active TV underground that thankfully my wife was able to see because my glasses are always smudged when my kids try to play with them. I punched a zombie and wrote down the codes. If you're unfamiliar with Alpha Omega, each letter corresponds to a specific house that I totally didn't look up a guide for, and the numbers correspond to the time on clocks in them. For instance, if I were to get 0115, it would be 115. Next, I hunted down some codes that I need to activate Project Toy Soldier and 3 high-ranking official codes so I can input these clock codes. So, I proceeded to go around and enter them into corresponding houses. This, of course, is extremely annoying when you're playing solo, so I heavily recommend getting a shield and running Winter's Wail and Dying Wish, especially Wail. The fun part about this process is that if you mess up one code, you need to start all over again on the next round. But after a lot of annoying clock inputting, all traps are active and I can start getting my revenge on these douchebags. Honestly, I think these traps are all pretty cool. There's a Wraithfire looking trap, an acid rain trap, and even an electric orb trap. But after going through all the houses and using the green trap a second time, I unlocked the achievement and promptly had nightmares about codes all night. Wrapping things up, we have Togder Toten's Lifeline, which is unlocked by using all zip lines without killing an enemy or going into last stand. As simple as this sounds, this only has a 0.05% completion rate. I started as I normally do, building up some points, cranking the zip lines into place, grabbing the flingy friend engine, and picking up this blue rock. On round 6, I tried to do some zip lining during the dog round, but I did eventually get cornered and took a fat down. But after looking up exactly where all these things are, because I swear there aren't actually 9 zip lines, I was able to zoom my way around the map in style and unlock the achievement, the Frosty Plunge into the cargo hold. With that, my stubble has now completely turned white, and what grip on reality I have previously had has been shattered. But that's okay, because dancing narwhals were all the rage 10 years ago, and they're back! Thanks for taking the time to check out this video. And if you want to check out more rare achievements, go ahead and check out my video of unlocking Checkpoint Zulu on Alpha Omega.